Big focus on incoming Chinese Foreign Minister Qin Gang. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken spoke with Qin Gang on Sunday. Blinken said he discussed the U.S.-China relationship and maintaining open lines of communication. China's new foreign minister has a number of challenges ahead of him. The top focus will be managing China's relationship with the United States and India, although the nature of challenge with both the countries differ. In case of India, tensions along the Himalayan border remains the primary bone of contention for the neighbors. In remarks made just 4 days before he was named as China's new foreign minister, Qin Gang referred to border issues with India. He said the status quo is that both sides are willing to ease the situation and jointly protect peace along their borders. Qin Gang's predecessor, Wang Yi, was a hardliner. He was known to seem sophisticated, but being crude in actions. In his tenure as the foreign minister, he was generated a lot of hostility, both in the region as well as elsewhere. But with the new foreign minister, it remains to be seen how China maneuvers through the slew of challenges it faces at home and abroad. Vijay Kumar Nambiar is the former Deputy National Security Advisor, is now joining us live from Delhi. Vijay, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you for calling me. Thank you.
Now, the new foreign minister has vowed to bolster ties between China, the United States and India. Is he to be believed or is it too early to judge?
I think the change of a foreign minister is not going to be that different in terms of the substance of the policy which China will be adopting vis-a-vis India. Wang Yi, I know him personally. He was Director General of the Asia Division when I was ambassador from 1996 to 2000. Wang Yi has always been connected with the Asia Division, and his background is basically Japan, right. And he knows a lot about the subcontinent. In fact, his father-in-law was a political secretary of Zhou Enlai. So he has a good background. But in many ways, he was reflecting as much of the changing overall position of China, and his own personal quality, as you said, hardliner, is only relative. Mm-hmm. For example, the new person, Qin Gang, has not been associated that much with the Asia division. He has been more connected with Western Europe and the United States.
Right.
He was in UK and the United States. Mm-hmm. He will take a much more strategic view, yes, but I think the overall position, the overall approach and direction of policy, I don't think there will be that much of change because it is decided in a much more objective manner rather than by individuals as such.
Vijay, let me ask you this. What are the hidden qualities of this former U.S. envoy as compared to his predecessor, Wang Yi?
Well, one thing, he is much more articulate in the English language. He has probably been very much more attuned with connecting and articulating positions in the English language. Wang Yi came to the English language much later. He was a Japanese expert. He spoke much better Japanese. Mm-hmm. But from that point of view, the exposure to very much more of over a longer period to the Western diplomatic scene will make him a lot more, I suppose, easy in dealing with the English-speaking world. And therefore, with India, I think between Jaishankar and Qin Gang, we will have a new Jai-Qin combination, which probably may look a lot more comfortable in terms of the way in which they will relate to each other. But you must remember that Qin Gang, when he was official spokesman between 2005 and 2010, I think that was, he was actually responsible and was responsible for what was called wolf warrior diplomacy. So right. I don't know if in terms of in terms of the actual substance of the dealings, there will be that much of a difference. I think the atmospherics will certainly be different.
Okay. Vijay, lastly, do you foresee alterations in China's stand vis-a-vis the United States and the Quad? How, according to you, may Wang Yi's going to change the equation vis-a-vis India?
I don't think that the change per se will make a difference, but I have a feeling, and my impression is that after the 20th Party Congress, and given the kind of polarization that has taken place in the relationship, the question and the experience, the most recent experience of China in the COVID case and after the zero COVID policy was changed, that will make a difference in terms of how China will relate to the external world. And particularly, I think there is in China itself, my impression is that they will look for some kind of an easing of the frigidity, as it were, in the US-China relationship. And therefore, they will look for openings, and they will probably be a little more prepared to work out, as it were, a kind of a modus vivendi, a better kind of a modus vivendi than existed previously. And that, I think, will be reflected. But the innate suspicion of the United States policy that there has been a strategic change in the outlook regarding China in the Western world, that I think is a reality which they recognize they will have to cope with, and they will have to, in fact, work with it. And their response to that is to build a much bigger, larger kind of, let's say, coalition, if they can, with the developing world. And that will continue, I think.
All right. I've been talking to the former Deputy National Security Advisor, Vijay Kumar Nambiar, live from Delhi. Thank you very much for talking to us today.
Thank you.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.